This is the funny circular thing that we're ready to say to you finally. We want you to not care about the manifestation so you can get better manifestations. Isn't that screwy?
Yeah.
That's sort of where everyone is. So, okay, I get it, Abraham. I have to ignore these manifestations, trusting that I put all kinds of good stuff in my vortex that I can't get to as long as I'm looking at these manifestations. But if I can get into the vortex, then the vortex will affect the manifestations. So what are we saying? What we're saying is you're supposed to have really good manifestations. We're saying it's perfectly brilliant and wonderful to look at everything that is pleasing you and use it as your basis of vibration. We're not trying to separate you from your reality, from your manifested reality. We're trying to help you create a pleasing manifested reality. So what are we really saying? Just don't look at the stuff that doesn't feel good. When you look into what is, and you're looking at the birds, and you're looking at the ocean, and you're looking at the beautiful sky, and you're looking at the magnificent world you are living in, and you're looking at the beautiful people, and looking at the beautiful children, and listening to the comedy and the music and all of the wonderful things that surround you, you're looking at manifestations, and you're utilizing manifestations to align you with the vortex. In other words, this is the thing that we really want you to hear. We're not off in Never Never Land. We're not sitting on the clouds with our feet dangling over the edge. We're not some nebulous mist. We are involved in every intricate detail of your delicious manifestations. That's why they feel so good to you. We're right there listening to your beautiful melodies, listening to the rapture in your heart. We're right there with you in your orgasms. We're right there with you in your taste buds when you're eating all of that delicious food. We're right there with you, right there with you, right there with you. We're not trying to get you to be other than this manifested genius out here on the leading edge that you are. We're not trying to separate you from that. We want you to be that. We just want you to spend less time in the contrasting parts that are depriving you then of the manifestation that is coming. Is that clear? Vortex first, then manifestation follows. Vortex first, then manifestation follows. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be milking our current reality for every delicious thing that we could focus upon. We would be making lists of positive aspects. We would be doing rampages of appreciation. We would be doing anything and everything that we could do to extract a keen awareness, a sharp, specific awareness in ourselves right here, right now, of the beauty of that which is. But if we find ourselves in a moment where the beauty isn't dominant, where the beauty isn't compelling, where the beauty isn't even seeable because of what we are focused upon, then we would not try to wring it from the manifestation. We would instead find our way into the vortex, the emotion of feeling, knowing that if you can do that, that the vortex will then give you immediately a more pleasing manifestation. And at first, the manifestation will be emotion. Next, it will be trains of thoughts will begin to come. Ideas, inspiration. Next, it will be others collaborating. Next, it will be heaven and earth moving to accommodate you in whatever you want. In other words, there's no limit to the details that manifestations will bring. So that leads us to what we talked about just before segment of refreshment that we were really wanting to talk about. Because every moment that you are conscious, you have this abiding awareness, you cannot get away from it, of your relationship between who you really are and all that you've become and how much you're letting in. In other words, in every moment you're having a manifestational emotion, an emotion that is a manifestation in every moment. If you're bored, it's a manifestation and it's telling you about this relationship. If you're excited, it's a manifestation in this moment that's telling you about this relationship. If you're fearful, it's a manifestation that's telling you about this relationship. In other words, you can't stop having a feeling, can you? Isn't something that you say constantly how I feel? Well, I feel this or I feel that. Aren't you aware of how you feel? I feel tired. I feel happy. I feel bored. I feel hungry. Well, hungry, that's a little different. I feel these emotions. I feel all day long. I feel bored at work. I feel uninspired at work. I feel inspired. I feel happy. I feel happy in talking to you. I feel unhappy in talking to you. I feel frustrated in this conversation. I feel exhilarated in this conversation. I feel. You do. You're feeling. You're having those feeling manifestations all day, every day. All day, every moment that you are conscious, you're having this awareness of this relationship, this vibrational relationship. So when you get it that this manifestation is happening constantly and that you have much more leeway and latitude in how you feel than just observing what is, now you've got it. Now you're free. The thing about your human experience is you have come to allow what is to dictate how you feel. So you've let the manifestation that matters most, which is the emotion that you feel, be dictated by things you can't control, by how it's stacking up. Do you know that collectively you are creating this world, so you share it with a lot of other people. So you cannot control what every one of them do. You can't control what any of them do. So if your happiness is dependent upon what any of them or all of them are doing, then your most important manifestation, which is the way you feel, is out of control to you. And that's what you've come to understand. You've come seeking the freedom from the bondage of the resistance, which is always self-imposed. That's what you've come to understand. You've come to understand that you can manifest joy no matter what now, no matter what now, no matter what now, no matter what now. And when you figure out how to manifest joy because of the power of your focus, then what happens? Then you become the deliberate creator that you came to be, that you were born to be, that you still are even though you've forgotten. Then you become one who is in control of your vibration. And when you're in control of your vibration, you're in control of your point of attraction. So when you're in control of your vibration and you're standing in vibrational alignment with all that you have become, then the manifestation has to shift. And people who are watching you say, now that was just amazing. I've never ever known anyone to do that. You say, well, no one wanted it like I do, and no one was able to divert their attention from its opposite current manifestation long enough to allow the presence of what is wanted to become. We want you to understand creation in the way that we understand it, which means you got to step back and take broader view, which means you got to stop being the flesh, blood, and bony person that you are and become the vibrational being that you are, which means become the emotional being which you are, which means become the really picky emotional being which you are, which means don't put up with anything that doesn't make you feel good, because if it doesn't make you feel good, you've got yourself pinched off from your power, and when you're pinched off from your power, you don't have any power, and then you don't manifest the way you want to, and then it's just a cycle of observing what is not wanted and then documenting it. Let me tell you about my life. I'd like to tell you about what's been happening. Maybe if I tell it to you in great detail, you will understand it clearly enough that you will help me move away from it. And we say, never, ever, 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 ever. It never works that way. Document it and hold yourself there. Document it and hold yourself there. Ignore it. You can begin to move away from it. Focus upon what is really wanted, and you begin to move toward that. Pretty clear. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing off limits. There is no order of business, although you will notice a wonderful evolution of subjects and expansion. We always enjoy so much visiting with you in this forum because we can feel the fullness of who you are. There are many of you all around the world. How many countries are with us today? 60. Some of you up in the middle of the night. We are appreciating your willingness to play with us, because it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. It doesn't even matter what planet you're on. It doesn't matter where you are or what time of day it is, because it's all happening now. And as we focus collectively in our now together, what happens is the vibration that is you meshes with the vibration that is us, and together we take thought beyond that which it has ever been before. We are eager for that. So, where do you want to begin? Oh, you've come to talk about some things. It's going to be a very good day. Be easy. Don't worry about not having what you have come for be addressed, because it is our promise to you it will be. Whether you sit in the chair or whether you just project from Antarctica, we'll hear you clearly. So you were source energy before you came into this body, and you got to know that. You just have to know that. Don't you have to know that? Don't you accept that there's more going on than what's going on around here? Just look at your planet spinning in its orbit. You got to know that. And anybody who doesn't know that just isn't trying. So your source energy before you come forth into this physical body. And a part of that consciousness comes into the personality that you know as you. Now you get that. You get that there was something before you, and you get that you're here. You look around, you know you're here. You accept that there was something before that. But this is the part that most people don't get. So here you are in this physical body doing just what you said you'd do, exploring and coming to new awarenesses of what you personally prefer. What would make life better for me? You say that as a one-celled organism. You say that as the little ant that is moving across the sidewalk. You say that as the full-blown human. This point of consciousness that I accept as me is having exposure to life, which is causing me, no matter what that point of consciousness is, even if it's a cell in your magnificent body, causing me to know what I prefer, what would be an improvement for me. New desires born constantly at all levels of consciousness. That's what the evolution of all species is about. So this rocket of desire emanates from you. You don't even have to put words to it. Your mic is always on, and you are emanating these rockets of desire. And as this rocket of desire moves forward in terms of manifestation, the source energy part of you, who is always part of you, the source energy part of you receives that request and becomes it immediately. Becomes the vibrational equivalent of the improvement that your life has caused you to ask for. And that's the moment that you then have a responsibility to yourself, if you are a seeker of feeling good, to now keep up to speed with that new rocket that the inner being part of you has just embraced and become. Did you follow that? And so often, instead of being a vibrational match to the improvement that your life has just caused you to become, you are mostly standing in your awareness of what you don't want, holding yourself without meaning to, through your observation of what currently is manifested in vibrational resistance to the improvement that you've just asked for. And that is the basis of all emotion. If you don't have enough money, you ask for more, and the larger part of you becomes more prosperous. But if you keep beating the drum of not having enough money, you continue to deprive yourself of the improved financial condition that you've already set into motion. Now, does this make sense to you? Do you understand that vibrationally there is a part of you that you keep setting a new standard? You keep raising the bar. You keep finding a new vibrational set point. And that if you don't keep up with it, then the crevasse or the gap between who you consistently are through your attitudes, through your habit of thought, through the friends you hang out with, through the blogs you read. In other words, you're constantly expanding. The question is, are you keeping up with the expansion? And if you're feeling great, if you're emotionally happy, if you're tuned in, if you're turned on to life, if you're flying high, if you're full of exhilaration, if you feel passion and love and appreciation often, if you are in that tuned in, tapped in, turned on attitude much of your life experience, then that means you're keeping up to speed, you're keeping up to speed, you're keeping up to speed. It means you're thriving on all fronts. But if you're grumpy, if you're cranky, if you're guarded, if you're fearful, if you are not feeling good, then that means that you're expanding vibrationally, but you're not doing a very good job of keeping up with your own expansion, which means you're creating a tension within you that doesn't feel good. So when we say to you, your emotion is your primary manifestation that you're reaching for, most people say, give me the new house, give me the new car, give me the improved body, give me the financial abundance that I'm looking for. Give me the means to travel the world and do what I want. Give me the means to quit that job I've got and leave behind that ornery employer that I've got. Give me the means to walk away from anything and everything that I don't want, and then I'll be happy. And we say, it doesn't work that way. That's backwards. You've got to find the happy place first. And humans say, you find the happy place. You be happy under these conditions. You live with what I've got going on, and you be happy. And we say, we are. We are living with what you've got going on, and we are happy. And the only reason that you ever feel unhappy is because you're not up to speed with that which we are. That is the basis of unhappiness. You think your unhappiness is because you don't have what you want. You think it's because you don't have the car, you don't have the lover, you don't have the bodily condition, you don't have the money. You think that's why you're not happy. And we say, that's just the excuse you're using to not be up to speed with who we are, and not being up to speed with who we are is why you're not happy, you see. You see?